Hey everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Internet Friends, the episode where we wondered what was the point at all.
Right? What? Like, oh my God. We'll get to it.
Do we
We'll
want to
get
jump
to
straight into it? Just
We have to go movie by movie, I think. I think we have to build
I
up
think so
to it.
too.
well, but
Yeah.
okay. So, anyways, for context for everybody just tuning in, even because this is a live show, apparently, our homework
That's how
assignment,
podcasts work. You tune into them at random points.
Our homework assignment this episode was the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, the end of the Skywalker saga, and I had us watch all three movies. I'm sorry. For
Yeah,
one
you
of the
fucking better
particular,
be.
You better
we
be.
sorry for all of that.
and I kind of wanted to, since it's my homework assignment, I guess I would kick off with the first question. Which one was your least favorite, and why was it Rise of Skywalker?
There's no contest. There's no conversation.
Absolutely none.
Like,
Absolutely
we were
none.
all
That-
on the group chat yesterday, just like, what the fuck?
What
Me and Seth
is
hit the
this?
same, like at 20 minutes in, I was like, oh no, this is so bad. Like, it's just like, it's incomprehensible. So,
Problem is I already had seen them, and I knew that, and I warned you guys, but I don't think you
Yeah.
guys knew how bad it was.
and no, I underestimated it completely. It is
Yeah.
wild.
I knew everybody who has seen it has told me how terrible it is. I had not seen it before this. It was so much worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah. Could you
Mhm.
imagine? It's just like, oh, okay, like, they didn't stick the landing. It wasn't a good Star Wars movie, but we've had a lot of bad Star Wars in the past. This,
Yes. Mhm.
like, anybody who critiqued, like, the Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace, like, in comparison.
That's my
It's-
exact
it's
thought
worse.
though. Like I felt like I Star Wars fans could be pretty harsh on stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm a
Yeah.
fairly casual Star Wars fan, so maybe like I won't love it, but like I was kind of expecting it to be like just meh. It is not. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, if not the worst. It is incomprehensible.
All right,
It's
so we get.
confusing.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
how can this be this bad?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go ahead and kind of walk our way backward to Force Awakens.
Let's
the
calm
first
down
in
for
the
a moment,
trilogy.
take a breath.
Well, and then we'll talk about, because I feel like talking about the first two movies in this trilogy sets up just like what a train wreck Skywalker is.
It sure tries
So-
to set something up and then just doesn't
It
do it. But
definitely
that's
does.
Well,
It tries
so-
to set up a whole lot of things.
So this is probably my fourth. Probably my third straight through viewing of all three that I've done all time. Like, I always go back and revisit the prequels and the original trilogy relatively often, once every 1 or 2 years. But, like, these ones I pretty much don't even want to revisit at this point.
Yeah.
fair.
Which,
And-
when you assigned them, I realized that, like, I thought favorably of the if I can talk, The Force Awakens when it came
Yeah.
out. And then I
Yes.
realized I haven't watched it since it was in theaters.
Yeah.
Same.
Like,
And-
I just
and that-
never
that
went
one's-
back.
Yeah, and that one specifically, so, like, yeah, I think at time and place, if you were a previous Star Wars fan and you went in, like, opening night to see Force Awakens, like, that movie was basically so bathed in nostalgia that you really was hard to see past the rose-tinted glasses. And it was one
Yeah.
of those movies that you kind of go back to now with, like, some of the Star Wars nostalgia isn't so much there anymore because Disney has milked this franchise for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't have the same impact. And then, like, you're watching it, and I just had this realization. It's like, man, I feel like J.J. Abrams is on the same, like, category me as Zack Snyder. It's just like, he could put together a really nice frame, but God forbid he tries to tell a story.
Yeah. Yeah. You brought up something that was in one of my notes. Oh, yeah. It's the heavy reliance on recreating A New Hope that
Yeah.
Force
Mhm.
Awakens does. And one of my notes is every time I start to like this movie, it screams at me, "Hey, do you remember A New Hope? Wasn't that
pretty
great?"
much. It basically is beat for beat, and, like, even, like, going back to, like, J.J. Abrams, like, packing a lot of stuff to look at in his visuals, it's just Easter egg fodder the entire movie.
Yeah.
Or, like, hey, here's a reference to this thing.
Yeah. And that was huge in 2015.
I'm gonna say it was
That's
a
like
safe
what
choice, especially at the time. Like it was a very safe choice, so
You
it
know,
makes
at
sense.
the time I loved it. Like I remember literally in the theater and like the scene where like they reveal the Millennium Falcon and it's like flying through the canyons and everything else like that. I was just like, this is exactly what I wanted in 2013.
Exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, now
And-
looking back on it, it just doesn't really kind of like hold the same weight, especially compared to the rest of the Star Wars saga.
BB-8 is so cute though. That's my favorite thing. I love when he does a little thumbs up with the lighter. I was like, oh, you're so fucking cute.
Yeah, BB-8
So,
definitely was a standout of that. And, again, going back to Seth's point of them trying to recapture New Hope, J.J. Abrams very specifically was like, we're shooting on film. We're not doing digital. And then
shooting on film, and also all of the practical effects, which don't always look the best. There are a couple animals in scenes where I'm like, oh yeah, that's just a pulley that they're like, and the neck is moving every time someone.
Yeah.
But that was at the time we were begging
that's what
for
we
that
wanted.
after the prequels.
Yeah. I feel like we had like suffered so hard from the backlash of like George Lucas, adding in CGI into the original trilogy, and like you can't see that again. So it was a pendulum swing in the direction and maybe just went a little too far.
Yeah.
Like CGI was better now. We could have added a few little elements to just kind of like smooth out some of the edges.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I like it okay. Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's super, super safe. And I will say I think my biggest notes are like, this is the movie where I think all the characters the most. I like them. I hate them all by the third movie so much.
Yeah.
Specifically Rey. Rey I hate the most by the third movie. I like her okay in this one.
Choice.
So
that's a bold choice. Yeah.
Rey in the third movie. No, we'll chat about it for sure. She is the worst character in that movie. I was gonna just a small note. I just think it's kind of a personal preference, but I think it's very funny when movies do. We only have 10 minutes till this thing happens, and then there's like another 45 minutes of the movie. So I'm just like, that's a long ass 10 minutes for this impending thing to happen. It's been at least an hour. I don't like the Supreme Leader. I think he was never an imposing threat. I think it's an interesting choice that they made that, just because, like, I don't know, he's just kind of a hologram that you see sometimes. So, I don't really love
going
that.
back to original trilogy of just like Palpatine's just a hologram. You don't know much about him.
Yeah, which I don't think it has
anything
punch here by any means. And I think it's interesting that well, actually, one day we'll watch Rogue One, and I have a lot of criticism about that one too. But I think it's funny that they put Finn in charge of shutting down the shields, even though they don't know who he is. They gave him an extremely important task, and I was like, "Who are you?"
Thank you. One of my first notes is Poe never thinks for a second that this escape might be a trick to get him to lead the First Order to BB-8.
They do not question it at all. I'm just like, they just met this guy. He's like, oh yeah, I could turn off the shields. They didn't even ask if he could do it, and he could not, in fact. So I was like, can we ask like some follow-up questions, like a follow-up question? Just this is why you guys are losing, because you're bad at
it. We'll get into more stupid decision making. But yeah, that really this time watching it, I was like, why does anyone trust Finn? He's like, he could very easily be a spy.
First Order, yeah.
And he's lied a lot to pretty much everybody there, which some people have called him out on, and they're just like, you lying about your backstory. But yeah, it's super important. Like, and he's like crucial to that mission too. I was like, why him though? You don't know who he is. And kind of on that note, this is just a small critique. Finn and Rey are both way too good at fighting. I feel like, especially like hand-to-hand combat. I was like, I don't think either of you should be this good at this. They're both like just like prodigies from the get-go. So, and also go ahead.
That was a common critique even after the film came out. It was just like, she's never held a lightsaber before.
But nails it first try. Sure, why not? So she was a scavenger. Like, yeah, she probably has some hand-to-hand, but she's really good at it. But it is what it is. Like, those are my main notes. And then I was just curious, is Mark Hamill still a Zionist, or is he okay
I think
now?
So, yeah.
Bummer. Okay, I figured.
I think he's in that category of once things started really going bad, he kind of just shut up about it.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got on the first movie. So that's it. It was fine. I enjoyed it. So
Uh, two notes that I have that might invoke something. Boy, they sure are making a big deal over who Ray is. I hope the answer to this will be satisfying. And then,
hey, we give you a. Don't worry. Next movie, we'll give you a very unsatisfying answer, and then we'll make it even worse.
Yeah, we'll go for something that's not satisfying, but okay, fine, I'll accept it. To they chose the worst possible thing.
I would say I like the answer in 2. I don't like the answer in 3. 2 is good for a lot of reasons.
I'm with you with that on Brie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better about it on a rewatch than I did at the time.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the moment, I'm like, you spent the entirety of the last movie telling me she's important and she is somebody, and half of this movie doing the same, and then you're like, no, nah, we subverted your expectations. We'll get to it.
Right.
We will get to it.
And then he did it again.
Yeah. The interrogation scenes are oddly erotic. That was something that stood out to me.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, like there was the rumor that was Daniel Craig as the stormtrooper who said he was going to time machines. I don't think it was ever confirmed, but everybody was just like, he was on set for one day, and they were just like, that's who they got to do it. But I don't think they ever confirmed it.
I was specifically talking about Kylo Ren. And,
that too.
Using the Force on them. Yeah, but.
Oh, trust me, like we remember the Reylo / fiction era.
Yep. I remember the Poe Finn / fiction era.
Oh yeah, that was a huge one.
That was big.
I didn't mind that.
We're gonna get you a very unsatisfying lesbian kiss at the end of the third one instead of them kissing.
I was so excited about that. I was like, ladies, do it, lady.
And it wasn't just an offhanded quick peck that they cut away from right away. It was an actual full kiss.
Beautiful to see, genuinely.
We will get to the third movie, but when Poe, Finn, and Rey all hug at the end, the audio, I want a boyfriend, and I want 2 boyfriends, and I want my boyfriends to be boyfriends played in my head.
Valid. Very valid.
Absolutely. Really, I have one more note I forgot about because you mentioned something sexual. I forgot that I put this note. When the creature, I think it's a Rathgar baby, absolutely deep-throating their spaceship, and I was like, this is very uncomfortable. Like his whole just like just like out in front of the ship. I was like, this is a lot.
The Millennium Falcon, the Glug Glug 3000.
He was going for it. I mean, go off, I guess. But I was like, all right.
I will also say, at least Harrison Ford looked like he was trying to have fun throughout this movie.
He did, but also that scene with the Rathgar thing, where he grabs the guy and throws him in after almost running away. That was 100% an answer to Han shot first. And I remember that in the theater being like, you fuck. Okay.
Annoying.
Yeah.
It's not bad. And it's probably the one that I have the least to say about.
I feel the exact same way. Like I'm just like I thought it was like okay watch. I did have to watch it in 2 parts because all of these movies are pretty dang long. But I enjoyed it. Didn't mind it.
One note that I shared.
This was at the dawn of
movies.
every movie needs to be in 2.5 hours.
Oh god, it's just so long.
At one point, for every movie, I paused to make a note, and then there's a second note that just says, "I still have an hour left for every single one of these movies."
I felt that, especially in the third one. I was like, oh, there's an hour and a half left. Oh my god.
That last 40 minutes is real. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, this brings us to maybe the most divisive movie in the trilogy, which is The Last Jedi. I have been a longtime defender of this movie. It's my favorite of this trilogy. Everybody's problems with it are more or less I understand and respect, aside from, the people who will use the word woke or whatever. And
except for the racist and sexist arguments. There are some valid arguments to be made. I'm a longtime hater of this movie.
I kind of like this one. I kind of fuck with this one. I watched it all in one sitting, so...
But I'll hold off on my rant. So finish your thought.
Fair enough. No, so like I said, I liked a lot of decisions that were made, even ones that pissed him off. Going back to like you're making her a nobody again, I kind of liked that. It kind of just sort of like it doesn't matter. Stop worrying about it, despite the fact that you spent a entire movie setting up. You have. I liked this visual style a little better than J.J. Abrams because it felt like every shot had more of a purpose as opposed to just how can we cram as many Easter eggs and just pieces of things for Star Wars nerds to like get excited about and actually like try to like no, we tried to make our actual set pieces and make it feel like it's like this is a different time and a different place. Whereas like the last movie was just like this could have just been Tatooine instead of Jakku. Like, this could have been any other Star Destroyer. Like this could have easily been Yavin. Like basically just all one for ones. And if there's anything that they kind of did wrong is again how they split things up and specifically how they treated John Boyega and Finn and like kind of like making his character a B plot when you tried to make him a main lead. Just some of the kind of like smaller things that I was just like, those didn't really bother me as much. But Seth, as a longtime hater of this movie, I'll go ahead and give you the floor.
Thank you. Honestly, this is not a bad movie. It's not at all. My biggest complaint, and I have two real issues with it, is that to me, it's disappointing because all of the new things that they're doing, they fumble on. Like, I actually really like that Luke is a hermit and that he wants the end of the Jedi Order and he doesn't want to train Rey. He still trains her anyway, but he's not happy about it. And I actually think it would be more interesting if the reason that Kylo turned to the dark side was because the logical endpoint for the Jedi is hubris and corruption. And Luke Skywalker's own hubris in thinking, I turned Darth Vader to the good, I can stop this kid from turning evil, is what ultimately results in Kylo becoming evil, rather than I saw the dark side in him and there was a moment of weakness. And that's a perfect example of what I mean when I say that there are things that I really like about this, and then they drop it, and then they screw it up. And also, this is not as big of a victim of the remake that Force Awakens is. There are still so many elements of this movie that are just Empire Strikes Back again, as well as Return of the Jedi. But they twist it right at the end, and they're like, "We subverted your expectations, and you thought even Luke, which I liked, you thought he was going to want to train her. Turns out he doesn't." And it's like I always, as a viewer, the first time I felt like the movie was trying to be smarter than me, more than give me an interesting story.
Yeah.
And so that's Thank you. But that's why I don't like it, is because I think given what we have, there is probably one of the best Star Wars movies in there. They just really failed to stick the landing. So I walked away disappointed more than I did entertained.
And we know Rian Johnson can do it because he did such an amazing job with the Knives Out franchise so far with Knives Out and Glass Onion. We know Rian Johnson knows how to do a film where he can subvert expectations and also, and have it be satisfying. Make you think one thing and go another direction. But also at the same time, like, respect your intelligence. Is the other thing. Whereas, this one, I think what gave a lot of people the problem with this, especially with Star Wars fans, is that it felt like it was kind of giving Star Wars fans the middle finger. It's like, we're not going to do what you want us to do. And I was just like, I like the element, I don't like the execution.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when this movie came out, I was kind of the opinion. It's just like, I feel like Star Wars nerds need to kind of be told to shut up.
That's fair.
I mean, always. Always.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. And so that's why I go the opposite direction of the lifelong Star Wars fans, because like a lot of lifelong Star Wars fans hated this movie, and I was like, I actually really like this one. And as soon as they went into production on the third one, and I heard about some of the things that were going on, I was like, "This is gonna be, this is not gonna be good. They are not gonna stick the landing on this."
Yeah, which part of my critique was the throne room sequence. As soon as the third one went into production, I was like, "Oh, Rian Johnson put that in. He killed off Snoke. He made Rey nobody, so that the next director wouldn't have to be held down by Disney to just do Empire or Return of the Jedi again." And then they got rid of Jurassic World and brought Abrams back in.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if Jurassic World would have done a very much a better job. In all fairness,
I've read the script. It's not that
but
great.
getting the guy who's
well, correction, Jenny Nicholson read
also
me the
a
script.
guy not fair enough, but yeah, in fairness, replacing a guy with not very good writing and then getting the guy who basically all he knows how to do is rip off George Lucas and Spielberg, maybe it wasn't the best choice.
Yeah, true. And hey, that
also,
mystery box
had a plan for how you wanted to end this.
That's why I bring up the mystery box. I remember when that TED Talk came out being like, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard a writer say." And then a bunch of my friends who were aspiring writers were like, "That was the best TED Talk I've ever watched." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't have a career."
Sorry.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so I again, there's valid critiques of the movie, but it's still out of this trilogy my favorite.
I would actually argue on this rewatch that yeah, it's probably the best of the three. I have my issues. I'm disappointed with it. There is enough there for it to be good.
I feel like it's the most entertaining and it flows the best. It's not. Go ahead.
Oh. I was gonna say, and if they had actually taken the time to nail the third one instead of whatever the fuck they did, like we would have looked back on the second one, and probably in the same way that we look back on like Empire, being like, hey, like, yeah, did people not really appreciate it at the time? But like, you could go back now and like really appreciate it. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
I get that.
Brie, what are some of your thoughts?
Anyways, Brie, you were gonna say?
Yeah. So it's interesting because I'm like, I think in general, I don't know if this is exactly correct, but I'm like, I feel like this one flows the best in terms of like the third one felt like so much of a fetch quest, and it kept being like, oh, well, actually, we need this thing to do this thing, and this thing to do this thing, and like it didn't feel like this. Like it was just like, oh, we have to go here, do this thing, and go back and do this. Like it felt a little more connected, whereas like the third one felt so fucking tedious. I was like, oh, well, this guy has a ship and the dagger, and then the dagger, and then I'm like, I don't care about any of this. Like it just felt a little smoother in the second one. Teach your own, but I like the general vibe of it. I will say the characterization is a little off in this one. Like one of the first notes I had was that I'm surprised how many people like Poe. Poe kind of sucks a lot, especially in this one. He gets so many people killed, and he is so like nonchalant about it and so reckless. And people are like, Poe's the best. I'm like, no, he's actually a very bad leader. And
I really liked Poe in the first one and was excited to see where they went with his character, and then they really did not. Yeah, they making him a hothead was not necessarily the best choice.
No, my first note actually is
I understand making him a little bit more reckless, but
yeah, my first note is Poe is an idiot who needlessly got his entire squadron killed.
Yes, and then so many people.
And then he's like distrusting of Haldo because she doesn't trust him after he refused a direct order.
Understandably. He doesn't have that trust anymore. He got demoted because he fucking deserved to. And I feel like it's very much framed as like, oh man, they're being so unfair to Poe. I'm like, no, the fuck they are not. Poe sucks in this. Like many people died because of him, and they already had very few people to work with. So like it was crucial that he like just listened, and it wasn't worth it in the end. Like it just like, yeah, that frustrates me.
Which also, this is another place where the film let me down, because instead of having that new tech that can track through hyperspace, there's a mole on board. And that immediately gives even more reason for Haldo to distrust Poe, because he's seemingly best friends with a guy who was a stormtrooper 3 days ago.
Yo.
And that's a bit weird. And it also then gives a reason for Haldo not to tell anyone that they're going to the rebel base, because she doesn't actually know who she can trust. Whereas in the movie we got, it's just, why didn't you tell anyone? Why didn't you? Why keep that a secret?
It's very confusing. I mean, and kind of on a similar, a small sidebar to that. I think Captain Phasma is a waste. It's a waste of a great actress. I don't really understand. Like, I feel like they really hyped her up in like promotions and things like that, just for her to not really do anything and then die. And I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, she looks cool. And like,
they were angling her for being the new Boba Fett.
Absolutely,
and she doesn't do anything. And she's so great. She's such a great actress. I'm just like, why did you waste her? Like, you clearly just did this for promo, or maybe you cut some sort of storyline that was supposed to be there. But I was like, why is she here? Like, literally, they don't do anything with it. And it's so disappointing.
Like having Phasma maybe chase after Finn, like when she finds out she's not with the Resistance and he's out doing the casino stuff. That would have been cool. That would have been a cool, interesting thing to do with her character. I would be interested
in that. Also, this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but do you two remember our Comic-Con experience with Gwendolyn Christie?
No, I don't think I was there for that.
Vaguely.
You were.
Was I?
I think I have footage of it somewhere.
We were walking. There was like a backstage. No, it was the second year. Because the first year was just you and me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. But right.
There was a backstage area behind the like signing spot, and all day we had been using it because we were media to cut back and forth. We're going from one shoot to the other. It's the three of us, M, and my girlfriend at the time. We're all doing whatever, and someone goes, "That's a great Brienne of Tarth cosplay." And I think, Brie, you said, "I think that's just Brienne of Tarth." And we looked up, and it's Gwendolyn Christie wearing a gray suit that at a distance could be mistaken for armor. And she's just walking down, and I go, "Hi, Gwendolyn." And she stops and waves and then turns in to
that's so cool. I don't remember this at all, but that's so cool. No? I have zero memory of this. Amazing. I love that
but
so
just
much.
that, like, that's a great Brienne of Tarth cosplay, followed immediately by that. I think that's just Brienne of Tarth.
I think that is.
That's wild.
I think about that every once in a while.
I mean, cons at that time would have been a great place for like people to just like cosplay their characters and just walk the floor and just see if anybody notices.
Yeah. Hey, Bryan Cranston
it's like
did it.
Henry Cavill wearing a. Oh, he did that all the time. He more or less just was Walter White in Albuquerque.
Fair.
Amazing. I had one more quick note here. Rose is confusing to me as a character. I feel like I'm not sure what they wanted to do with her, because I feel like I actually kind of initially liked their relationship because I know a lot of people were kind of mad about the kiss at the end, and I actually am not mad about it because these are two extremely sheltered individuals that have not experienced the world in any sort of way. Fair. And actually, I really like pairing them together, especially like I think one of the strengths there is them going to this like very lavish casino where Finn, he's never seen anything like this before, and he's like, wow, this is amazing, so cool. And she has the perspective, granted she's still sheltered, but she's like, I can't believe this is happening when like people are suffering. Like, this is so wild to me. So it's nice to see those two, that juxtaposition of that, like them being from a similar background and experiencing the world differently. But her crashing her ship into Finn's to keep him from killing himself. I'm like, oh, so you killed both of you fucking idiot. I don't know.
You killed everyone.
That was so careless. I was just like, why is this framed as like a heroic thing? And just like, oh, wow. Like, and now she's going to pass out about it. I was like, that was so stupid and so dangerous. She could have killed both of them and multiple people. That's not charming. It's not cute. It's just reckless in a way that is baffling to me. So
I have a similar note, which is when she gives the resistance ring to the orphan slave and then the kids help them escape, she just got all of them murdered.
Yes, I thought the exact same thing. Those kids are dead. Those kids are going to die.
They're gone. Yeah.
Oh my god. I know. It's worse in the third movie, I will say, only because like they sideline her so quickly. But I was like, what is the point of Rose outside of like maybe a diversity hire? Like I hate saying that, but I'm just like, because they didn't use her, so I'm like, did they just put an actress here just for this purpose? Because it kind of feels like it, because they didn't have anything for her to do outside of, again, like a kind of awkward kiss with Finn. My last two notes on this were I did not realize all the memes are from this movie. Every single one is from this movie. I thought it was all the third one, but it's mostly from this one.
Every Adam Driver audio is from this movie. Yes.
I had no
Every
idea.
one of them.
Speaking of the memes, I had somewhat forgotten, and there's a note I have, which is shirtless Kylo Ren appears on screen, and the note is just, God, that is a wide boy.
Yeah.
He's a wide man.
He's the size of a refrigerator. He is.
They could have framed that better for his sake. I feel like
Black looks so slimming on him, though. I did find that very awkward when I saw it. It's like, is this was this intended to be arousing? I don't get it.
I think it was for the cheap joke, but I don't think it was worth it. I feel more bad for him.
Yeah. But I think also that might be why Rose was introduced in the first place, is that there was kind of this love story between Finn and Rey, and then they're really pushing this Rey and Kylo thing in the second and third movies. I think they wanted somebody else for Finn to be happy with without going the gay option.
That's interesting, because what my last note is that I really like Finn and Rey's relationship being platonic. I really like how affectionate they are with each other without it being romantic. And I was kind of hoping that's the direction they were taking with it. So, because I was like, it is always nice to see a male and a female lead where they just really respect and love each other. I could still like hug and like have these like kind of intimate moments without it being like sexual in any way. Like I feel like they carry that throughout into it's one of the very few things I like about the third movie, that they can like do these like really sweet hugs and be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back. I love you. Like that's just nice. But that's all I
have. I've got a couple more notes. Why didn't Maz give them the Codebreaker's name instead of just a vague description? Because they could have then gone into the casino and been like, hey, is Long Asparagus around here somewhere? Oh, he's over there, he's playing craps? Cool, thank you. Also, don't park on the beach. Awesome. Everyone knows not to do that.
It's not covert.
Which was another surprise. They're running down the beach to the ship, and I'm like, they didn't impound that? Like,
Excellent point.
I'm bringing real world logic into Star Wars.
No, I have a very similar note about when they get to the rebel base. like they're like, oh, close the door. I was like, why was the door not already closed? Like, you've been sitting here for a minute. Like, close the fucking door. Why was that not the first thing you did?
You don't know that that's Finn and Rose coming down.
No, you don't.
Close the door.
Wild. Oh my goodness.
Let me look over my notes for this one before we get to the one where we're going to talk a lot.
Oh, I did have two more quick notes. One, is I don't think you can have a rebellion with 15 people, because that seems like all that was left at the end. I was like, I think I would call it quits at that point. Like, there's not enough people here for that's not a rebellion, friends. Like, I think this is done. I appreciate the hope, but
all right, let's bring back space fascism. Let's go.
That's just not a counter rebellion. That's not how that works. So
no. Oh, this point has already been made, but it's Finn did one thing. How is he such a big hero? Why is everyone respecting him immediately? That's already been brought up. The spacewalk is a little dumb. I didn't hate it as much this time, but I didn't like it. When Leia gets sucked out of the cockpit and then she uses the Force to bring herself back in.
I feel like very whatever about it. I feel like people got so heated about it. I'm like, it's dumb, but like, I don't know, whatever. So I'm not that mad about it. I think
Carrie Fisher's death, but like during production or during reshoots, kind of really messed with what they wanted to do with that, and also really messed with what they did in the third one.
I thought she passed during filming of the third one. You have to remember.
No, the third one, it was all previous footage from this movie and just deep fakes the entire film.
Interesting.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I had forgotten that. The
I
scene
think they
with
were
Yoda
about to start
is very
reshoots
good.
for Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, one scene that I really, really liked and I don't have any issues with at all is the scene with Yoda. And they're like his conversation. Oh, Brie.
I hate Yoda
Brie.
so much as a character. So like I at the second I was like I've never been on my phone so fast. I'm like, uh-huh. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
moving on.
I just think he's so annoying.
You know what? Fair. Is it the way he talks?
Scene. It's everything about him and the way people act about him. I just like everything about him is annoying to me. I've never liked him as a character. I get it, and that's in a super important scene. Awesome, but I was like, blah blah blah. So
okay, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but well, that scene represents it's just like, hey, it was never about bringing back the Jedi as they were. It was about bringing the Jedi back better than it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the whole like learning from your mistakes. I taught you everything, but the one lesson you didn't stick with was failure's important too, and you're gonna screw up sometimes. I do like that.
I love that.
My last note about this movie is, oh shit, this is really the first time Poe and Rey are meeting. I thought for sure they had a scene together at some point, but no,
and they did not.
I thought that was going to be a romance. Actually, that would have been maybe a little interesting. I wouldn't have minded that, but
I think that was in the original Duel of Fate script.
Yeah, they hinted at it vaguely by making them seem like a divorced couple when they're arguing over the Falcon at the beginning.
It was very Han and Leia, like, for sure. I could see that.
Like, treated, and then Finn's being treated as like the awkward stepchild in the middle.
Yeah. Anything else we want to cover?
That's a healthy dynamic.
Oh yeah, so great. We all know from growing up in it.
Absolutely. I feel like the only like we kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but like I do like the whole like I like Rey being nobody because it does kind of put forth like the whole like anybody can be a hero, anybody can be important, and I think that it like is it cheesy messaging, sure, but I think it is nice, especially in a franchise like this. I think it is nice to be like you don't have to be from anybody. Like I think that's really aspirational, inspirational, and I think it would have been a more interesting route to take. Like I don't know if this was ever the intention. Like the third movie is very confusing to me, and we'll get to that in a moment. But it's just like I think if they were going to go with something, this was the one to go with. Like that would have been fine.
Yeah. I didn't like it at the time.
We were all tired of Jesus allegories at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen a lot of them. But at the time, I was frustrated by it simply because of what I said. That the whole first movie is Rey is somebody, Rey is whatever. On this rewatch, I thought it was actually probably a much better decision, and that like the Force, just chose her to, be this vessel. Aaron, you watched Clone Wars. Am I pronouncing this properly? Mortis?
Yes.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, Mortis has two children. Mortis is the embodiment of the Force, right?
The son and the daughter.
Okay. And so I thought, like, on this watch, now being aware of that, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool to make her, she's nobody. Her lineage doesn't matter. But the Force has chosen her to be the daughter of Mortis, the embodiment of the light side, and Kylo Ren, the embodiment of the dark side. Which they...
we could have just gone back with midichlorians.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is much better than midichlorians.
You're like, actually, so much all that.
Yeah, take away everything I just... But no,
all I'm saying.
But yeah, I my opinion over her being nobody has completely changed since I originally saw this movie. And it is better.
Yeah, that is fair. So, anyways, that brings us to the one that we keep on re-referencing because we have the strongest opinions about it, all on the same page.
I finished it this morning.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I finished it this morning, and I don't think I can tell you a single fucking thing that happens in this movie. It is just... They're throwing so much shit at you. Why are they here now? What's the dagger? Why is Chewie getting a medal? Why does that matter? Oh, because he didn't get one in A New Hope? Okay.
Oh god, that was so stupid. I hated that.
How All right.
I got a
The
call
Death
back
Star
for the second
blows.
callback.
Yep. The Death Star blows up, but then huge chunks of it are just fine. Also, evidently, there's still power because that door opens, and a bunch of the TIE fighters work because Kylo Ren just took one. How? What? Okay, I need to calm down. I mean,
To jump off of what you were just saying, I think it is such a wild choice because here's the thing: the First Order was already winning. They were already a formidable force on their fucking own. Why make a double army when they're already a fucking threat? Like, it's not like it's if they were like losing or something, then they introduced something new, cool. But they weren't. They were absolutely fucking winning. So to like add more bad guys to it doesn't make sense thematically. Like, it is so deeply confusing to be like, well, no, they're actually double evil, and this is this other guy that's also super evil, but like more evil than the evil guy. Like, why? I just don't understand. The inclusion of Palpatine
They
ruins
had
this
to
movie
justify
completely.
what Palpatine was doing the whole time.
and the line, you can tell it hurt Oscar Isaac to deliver the line. Somehow Palpatine has returned. His delivery is just like, what the fuck are we even filming right now?
That entire scene, everybody's delivery was straight up just like, okay, that's what we're going with. How's this work? How's that go?
A lot of the delivery and dialogue is bad in this movie in a way that does not make sense to me. So it is egregiously bad, and I feel bad because I'm sure they were doing the best they fucking could. So, but like, this is a shitty fucking script. So,
well, and also like there was a note.
I think that's what happened is that everybody looked at the script.
Yeah. There was a note I almost made for Force Awakens, which was, God, some of this dialogue isn't great. And then I was like, but it's Star Wars dialogue. Star Wars dialogue's never great. And then we get to Rise of Skywalker, and I'm like, what is happening? How?
It's there's like two examples I have that like are so like the first one was Poe, like when they were down in like the quicksand or whatever the fuck, and he's like, I don't like bones, and I was like, is that comedy? What are you? That's not you're not saying anything, and I think it was supposed to be comedic. And there's another scene where Rose, Leia, and a pilot are talking about losing Rey, and the pilot comes up and says, "We've lost trace of Rey," and then Leia's like, "Well, you could be more positive," and he's like, "Oh, okay, everything's terrific." And I was like, that scene was baffling to me because I was just like, why would he? Like, he's just delivering news. One, why is this scene here? This scene does not add anything to anything that's going on. I think they honestly just wanted to add one more scene with Rose in it because they had nothing for her to fucking do. So they added this like weirdly maybe comedic, but there's no joke there. And like, I think all the dialogue in this movie is like that, where I'm like, did you read this out loud? Like, because what is the point of this exchange? Like, these are not how fucking humans talk, or aliens for that goddamn matter. Like, it is baffling. I just don't understand.
Yeah. Oh my God. Also, speaking of deliveries, the scene where Hux reveals that he's the spy. Also, so much is being thrown at you in this movie that when he said, "I'm the spy," I was like, "There's a spy?" Oh, right. Yeah, they did mention that.
Like 2 hours ago. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then Poe's like, "I knew it," and he says it like he's doing a children's TV show, and then
that was so bad.
Finn being like, "No, you didn't." I was like, "This is that funny? Am I supposed to be laughing here?" Like, oh my God!
It's like they got the Marvel folks to like get in on it. Like, they got the Marvel people specifically to be like, "Hey, what can we do to make this a little bit more, crowd pleasing, I guess?" And then they were just like, "You gotta add all these quippy
They
jokes.
fly now. They fly now.
They fly now."
I thought people were making that line up, like they were making fun of, like, I really thought that was a generic line from something else. I did not realize that was in this movie. Like, they wrote it down and they said it out loud. I was like, you're in fucking space, my dude. Like, somebody having a jetpack is not that revolutionary. Like, why are you freaking out about this? You're in fucking space.
Finn, you were a stormtrooper.
Insane.
You know that they have jetpacks.
Excellent fucking point.
But also, Aaron, you said something that made me think, like, while I was watching this, I just kept going, who is this for? Because, like, what is this a family film? Is this for children? Is this for Star Wars fans? Because I don't think anybody can like anything happening here.
Yep.
No, absolutely not. Is my mic fucking up right now?
There's a little bit of a lag in your
Yeah, you've
video,
been
Mike's
delaying
doing
for me a
something
little
weird.
bit. Oh.
but I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, like it's like my mic doesn't pick me up right away on both sides.
Oh, strange.
Huh, that's weird.
Also,
Yeah, it's been doing like it's even doing it in.
in OBS.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's doing it in OBS as well. So I wonder if there's like a codec issue on my end.
Maybe. Also, just a note that I have is shut the fuck up 3PO, which brings me to I know that 3PO was the annoying character in the original trilogy. I never hated him this much. But I swear,
No, absolutely not.
yeah, Abrams went out of his way to make this version of 3PO the most annoying that he has ever been.
I super agree. And I've never liked him, but I will say it is one of my favorite. I laughed out loud 2 times in this movie, and one of them was when he turns around, he's like, "I just want to look at my friends one last time," and that little Dio droid says, "Sad." Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a comedic scene, but like it sounded so sarcastic. He's like, "Oh, sad." It was so, I was screaming. I had to pause.
The droid is holding up the sad sign for the audience.
Like, you're supposed to feel bad about this, by the way. I was like, I don't. And it gets that plot point gets resolved later, easily, quickly. What's the point?
Everything does. Chewie's dead. No, he's not. C-3PO lost his memory. No, he didn't.
It's okay.
Yeah, like nothing mattered. Nothing was consequential in this movie whatsoever.
No. God. Also, I hate Babu Fripp or whatever that little puppet is called. I remember when that movie. Yeah, I remember that. I remember memes at the time being like, "This is the only good thing about the movie," and I'm watching it going, "He sucks."
A non-entity. I feel like he's just kind of there.
It's just a boring puppet character.
I like the little droid though. I'm a fan of the tiny droids. I like the Dio droid. He's so dang cute, and I especially like. There's another moment where he's rummaging through Rey's stuff, and Finn's like, "Hey, don't do that," and he said, "I miss her," and it's just very cute.
That's right.
He's the best part of the movie, and he's not in it a lot, but he's very sweet. Oh my goodness!
This movie.
I know. I'm just like,
I told you, it's the worst of them.
So it is by far the worst. Sorry.
Oh, no question. No, I want to talk about Rey because I feel like you both were a little confused why I hated her so much in this movie. And I hate her because she keeps wandering off and endangering everybody constantly. Because she's like, "Oh, I see the Force," and then she'll wander off into the distance. They go to get her, and then they get captured or they get hurt or something. And she does that like 4 times. That is the like. It happens at least 3 to 4 times in this movie where she wanders off, they follow her, they get captured, they get injured, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, for them to be like, "Oh, she's
they
the
need
greatest
to put her on
fighter."
a child's leash.
That's what I'm saying. She's a fucking liability. She's like kind of like Poe in this, where she is just going off on her own and hurting her team consistently. And it happens over and over again. And I'm like, Rey's a fucking asshole. Like, can you do this on your own or have a team? You can't have both. And why do you have to keep being like the hero that does everything by yourself? Like, it is. I cannot stand her in this movie for that reason because it keeps happening and it is so confusing.
That's fair. Speaking to that, when they're on the Death Star moon, like Poe and the gal who has the exact same backstory as Finn go back to the Millennium Falcon, and then BB-8 comes up and he's like, "We can't find Rey," and they go back and she's taking that thing across the water. Chewie was right there. Did he just like turn around and she just zipped away?
Apparently. Bye, I guess. They have no object permanence, these people. Like,
no. Oh man.
I mean, everyone sucks in this movie. I also think it's very interesting that the only thing that turns Kylo Ren to the light side, the good side, is both his parents dying. Was that the key? That both his parents had to be dead? Like, what was the turning point? I feel like nothing happened. He's like, oh, my mom's dead. I guess I'm good now.
Oh, my mom died. Okay.
I guess I'm good. Like, why?
My rebellious phase is over. I have no one else to rebel against.
Now I'm an orphan. I gotta be an orphan about it.
But he did a reverse Batman. He became less emo after his parents both died.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that changed. Everybody tried to talk him out of it.
And they do this whole thing of like Leia reaching out to him in her last moments, and it's going to take all of her energy. That's all it took, was him getting a psychic message from mom to be like, oh, I guess I don't want to be evil anymore. Oh, I'm stabbed.
That's the first time she tried that, because I think she's probably tried it before, so why now?
Yeah, I do think they maybe wanted to do something different if Carrie Fisher had been alive for it, but like they could have came up with anything else for that.
Nah. Well, and then she turns into a Force ghost at the same time that he turns into a Force ghost. And there's a shot from the Rebel base after the funeral. It's been minutes in this movie, like 20 minutes, and then they just cut back to her still on the pyre, covered, and I'm like, you're not gonna bury her? You're not gonna
leave her there? They're busy, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know if this is like I don't think this is like an ice cold take, honestly, but I'm like, I genuinely think this movie would have been at least okay if Palpatine was not a plot point, because he does not his inclusion in this movie is genuinely so like incompetent and baffling to me, especially because in the first 5 minutes they retcon everything. They're like, oh, actually he's been here the whole time. That's so wild. Like, he's the reason Snoke's here. I was like, you didn't mention that in any of the other movies. You can't act like you've been building this up when there was no hint to it.
It wasn't even a plot point. It's how they kicked off the plot.
Yeah,
it was 5 minutes into the movie. 5 minutes in, they're like, "What? You've been here the whole time."
It was on the crawl.
Yeah. And 5 minutes in is when I made my first note, which is, "Oh, this is so much worse."
Substantially. I honestly think they could have maybe like switched the plot point to like the First Order has new ships, or like now that Kylo Ren is in charge, he's like a more, I don't know. They could have pretty much done the exact same thing except for the mindless fetch quest, and then all of the allies come in at the end. It would have been a cheesy ending, but it would have been fine. Like, I think it could have been an okay movie. I don't think I would have loved it, but I wouldn't have fucking hated it like I did this, because like Palpatine is derails everything good about what they were trying to build. Like, again, I don't think this had a chance of being a phenomenal movie, but it could have at least been okay. It could have felt like Star Wars.
But we had to have all of the Sith. And question, who were all the people in the robes in that chamber? Are they embodiments of the Sith, or are they just other Palpatine clones that are watching him?
They were supposed to be the embodiment of the Sith.
Oh, okay. But I think it would be really funny if he just cloned himself like 100,000 times and made them sit there and watch
followers.
That's what I thought they did.
That would have been better.
He's the one to do it.
I created an army of Sith and me.
And like, okay, so if she kills him, all of the Sith energy and his essence goes into her and becomes the Empress Palpatine. But if she deflects lightning back to him, that doesn't happen?
Everything about that doesn't make sense to me. And also, I didn't know or care about her parents until just now. So don't act like this is a big emotional thing for her where she's like, I'm angry and I want to kill this guy. You barely knew your parents and you thought they were shitheads up until this point. So I don't know why this small thing where like, oh, he murdered them actually, and you kind of vaguely saw it. Okay, cool. Like, another line that this actually got a laugh out of me is when her parents are being interrogated in the memory. Her mom goes, "She's not on Jakku." I'll tell you where she isn't. Nailing it. One of them, of course.
I definitely don't keep the illicit drugs under my mattress.
Yeah.
Don't even bother looking there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
also, why do Kylo Ren and her kiss? I that wasn't warranted by any means. And then he immediately died. Like everything about that exchange, I was like, although I was like, my next step was like, yay, women kissing,
It
hell
was
yeah!
so bad.
yeah. Well, and also their kiss too, like before it happens, because I'm aware of what has happened in this movie through talking to people. So I knew that he like gave up his life energy to bring her back to life. And she wakes back up, and I'm like, okay, Kylo, stop. You don't have to give her any more life energy. She's alive. You can. Oh, he's dead now. Oh, okay.
He has to die here after a
No, he
sweet
did.
kiss.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
my
incel finally got a girl.
Oh my goodness.
And that's a life lesson for all of us kids.
I think we could all learn from that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
Also,
god.
I never realized it until the scene where he's having his talk with the ghost Han Solo. His costume is really stupid. It's like overly padded. It just doesn't look good without the helmet. Also, I'm glad he held on to all the pieces of it after he broke it so it could be repaired.
Thank goodness.
Oh, yes. Again, a major plot point in the previous movie, only to be ruined, literally just by like, oh,
Well-
anyways, we're going to put that back together again.
Yeah. And so much of this movie is undoing The Last Jedi. They really were like,
Yeah.
we are going to just do whatever the people who didn't like the last one want and completely retcon it. And they ended up making nothing.
Which was the wrong way to write a script.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of any of the moments I like in this movie. And there's one small note I have, which is like the reunion of everybody at the end is genuinely very sweet. I like when people are like, I even like there's like a random like pilot that hugs a random alien, and that just like was very cute. Like he's just like, oh, I'll hug you too. Why not? Like and again, like Finn and Rey and Poe all hugging together. Like that was genuinely sweet because like they seemed so exasperated. Like, oh my god, we never thought this would happen. Like for all the kind of shitty acting because of the probably poor direction, that scene was very, very nice. Also, a very small sidebar, which I'm sure neither of you noticed about this. When Lando, I think Lando, yes, he's really early in the movie. There's the second time I laughed out loud. It was just a small. It's my new vocal stim. So he when he takes them and brings them back, and there's this like. He knocks on a door and an alien opens the door. And he asks him to do something. The alien says, "Okay," and then opens the door and he says it exactly like that. And he's like a puppet.
I didn't catch that. That's amazing.
And it's just like a puppet, so just okay, and then he opens the door. It fucking killed
It's
me.
Fozzie Bear.
Like almost. It was so funny, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at this, but this is the only joy I have in this movie.
Yeah. Well, and also going back to that scene where they're all like commiserating and there's like this big relief. There's a shot of like everybody hugging everything, and I go, okay, roll the credits. This is where the movie needs to end. And then Rey goes to Tatooine.
Yeah. Okay, cut it off.
That would have been perfect. That would have been nice. Yeah, I agree. Please stop.
One thing that I did like about this was the lightsaber fight between the Force and how, like, you know, they slice open the barrel full of fruit and then it falls onto the floor where Rey is, and then they break the thing. And I thought that was at least interesting and neat. Not executed.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept. I think if there's anything. Yeah, if there was anything that I would kind of say, like, again, like, I don't have a problem with the whole Rey takes up the title of Skywalker. I have more of a problem with just, like, why did this movie just end?
Yeah.
No one cares anymore. No one cares what the last name is.
No. Again, you get to that last 40 minutes, and I'm pausing it every few minutes going, how much more? Come on. Can we just... and then we get to
just
what
let
should
it play
be
for that
ending.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. We get to what should be the ending, and then it keeps going, and she goes back to the Lars homestead, which Leia never went to. And then they have this horrible interaction of like, what's your name? Ray. What's your last name? Skywalker.
Normal human conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And she pauses for so long too to look out at the Force ghosts. Skywalker. It's like, fucking just end this damn movie.
Please.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously Rise of Skywalker is the worst Star Wars movie in our humble opinion, and it's really sad that they ended
And that's
it
including
so
the
poorly
Droids animated movie from the 80s. Sorry.
Yeah, and specifically considering the fact that, like, again, you know, at least the prequels people have been able to go back to and look on fondly, like, years after the fact. These movies are not going to have that, in my opinion, because, like, people for us, who we were the target demographic for these movies when they were coming out, including, you know, people slightly younger than us, but the people slightly younger than us do not care, and we are, like, not advocating for these movies, or at least not like them as a full trilogy.
That actually reminds me, because I remember a lot of people at the time saying, like, if you don't like these, it's because they're made for kids. They're made for teenagers. They're like, whatever. And my goddaughter was...
I don't think these were made for kids.
I don't think they were made for anyone. But my goddaughter was 12, like 13 when these were coming out. And I asked her, because she's like really into nerd stuff. She loves Stranger Things and Marvel. She told me she cried when Spider-Man died. And I'm like, but you know, the trailer for his next movie is already out, right? Like, he's going to be fine. Doesn't matter. I asked her, what do you feel about Star Wars? As somebody who would play lightsaber fights with her when she was really little. And she goes, I don't care about these. I don't like them. It's not for me. And I'm like, this is the demographic that a lot of people are saying these movies are being made for, telling me she doesn't care.
That's such a cop-out answer, though, honestly, because I feel like people do that for a lot of different things. They're just like, oh, it's for kids, so you're not supposed to like it. I was like, kids are intelligent beings. Like, yeah, like, no, we're not talking babies that are, like, you know, watching whatever. Like, kids, like, they are intelligent, and they do want to watch something that's relatively engaging. Also, they should be making those movies so at least parents will tolerate them to a certain extent. Like, so... truly, this is for nobody. And I will say,
there is kids content out there that people like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I feel like everyone at my studio is obsessed with Bluey, and they're all grown up. So just like clearly there's really good kids content out there.
That's for adults. But yeah, you look at like a regular show or The Adventures.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Apparently my computer decided to crash out, especially considering the fact that I've been on a delay this entire time. Anyways, so last thing I remember...
bad of a delay.
Yeah, the last thing we were talking about was how these movies, you know, people claim Star Wars for kids, which it may have been in the beginning, but now it really is just like these movies didn't really have anybody in mind. I mean, Force Awakens was nostalgia bait. Last Jedi was trying to be a little bit more subversive and maybe like try to get people to think about Star Wars in a different way. And Rise of Skywalker just feels like a bad response to backlash about how people didn't like The Last Jedi, which, for better or worse, you know, the way to address that is to stick the landing, not just respond to people on the internet about their opinions, because, quite frankly, a lot of people's opinions on the internet come back to bite them.
I will stand on that. Like, fans are always wrong. Fans never know what they want. So do not listen to fans unless it's like something like offensive or like something that we need to change in that. Like, scope of that wasn't the case here. Like, it's just like fans. That's why part of the reasons Game of Thrones didn't stick the landing, because it just like fans don't know what they want. We have too many different opinions. And not only that, I feel like that
it's more than that, but that is a big part of it.
But honestly, actually, another thing that kind of brings me back to Game of Thrones is just like, just because a plot point is not expected doesn't make it good. Like, that doesn't make it a plot twist. I feel like that is exactly where this movie fails too, because they're like, oh, but no, we subverted your expectations. I was like, but I didn't have these expectations weren't on the fucking table. So now I'm just fucking confused. Like, that doesn't make people get that confused a lot, I think.
And that brings me back to The Last Jedi, where like so many times in the movie, they do, again, not as much as Force Awakens, but they do something from Empire Strikes Back, but then they twist it at the end and they're like, we subverted your expectations. And I'm like, my expectation for this movie was that it was going to be something new and not just nostalgia bait for the past. So yeah, in that way, you subverted my expectations.
Yeah.
Stop rubbing it in my face that you did
Yeah.
in
You
a way
didn't
I don't
win.
want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No. So, all the things being equal, I still love Star Wars. I'm not as in love with Star Wars as I was, 10, 15 years ago. And a lot of it has to do with not just this trilogy, but I feel like how Star Wars has been treated since the Disney merger. Because Disney turned it into the cash cow that Disney turned things into. It's just like, we're going to keep churning out content for it to justify the existence for the theme parks and the toys and the merchandise and everything else.
And that's something too that killed it for me, is that like when we were growing up with Star Wars, there was a bunch of expanded media. There were tons of books, there were video games that were canon, but you didn't need to consume all of that.
There was an
to be able to
understanding
enjoy.
that, like, if you were not into extended universe Star Wars, it's just like, that's fine. There's a lot of it. A lot of it doesn't connect. A lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it's not considered canon. It's just, hey, buddy, you want to write a Star Wars novel? Write a Star Wars novel. We'll give it our blessing. Hey, you want to do a Star Wars game set 4,000 years before the original trilogy? Sure, go ahead. You want to use Dungeons and Dragons mechanics for it? Have at it, champ. Just... like, whatever, well, and we'll just, like, as long as it has the basic Star Wars DNA, it's fine.
Yeah, but with this, I remember there being a huge push. I mean, people were really upset about wiping out all of that and Disney doing new stuff. But there's a scene in Force Awakens when the planet is about to be destroyed, and there's a close-up on a character. That character is from one of the books that was released right before that movie came out.
Right.
I shouldn't have to do homework. I shouldn't have to read a bunch of novels to be able to enjoy a 9-movie franchise that is largely contained.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to watch Clone Wars and Rebels to enjoy Ahsoka, but unfortunately you have to. Like, you have to have seen Rogue One to understand why do I care about Andor in the first place. There's just all these things. And, like, they tried with some other stuff, but again, they can, because they're very... trying to canonize anything that Disney does with it, I'm just like, you're kind of missing the point.
Yeah. Just, this is a good universe, and there are so many stories that can be told. Don't always rely on the Jedi. Don't always rely on Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorians, and you can tell really interesting things here. Andor, I haven't watched it, but supposedly it's great because it does exactly that.
I don't know. I hate Star Wars, so just
Star Wars have a somewhat positive opinion of it.
I'm a very casual fan, which is not allowed to my understanding. So
honestly, I wish we had more casual Star Wars fans. Please come back. We need you. You're our only hope.
We need them.
Regular fans make me so unfun.
For me, it's one of those things that I am so happy I grew up with. I am so happy it was part of my childhood and like my teen years. I have such fond memories of having lightsaber fights with my friends and then being able to carry that on with like my goddaughter. I don't really like it very much anymore. And there was a point during Rise of Skywalker where I was like, do I even like Star Wars? Like, this sucks.
It's a question that you legitimately have to ask. It's just like, I don't think I like Star Wars anymore, which sucks because it was such a big part of my childhood and growing up and everything. And then it's just like, did we just kill nostalgia? Is that what happened?
Well, that's most of the 20 teens is, hey, you like Thing? Let's ruin it.
But yeah, I think that's the thing, is just like, you no longer can rely on nostalgia to carry anything anymore. And like, that's why DC's, like, well, I said DC, but like comic book movies in general are failing because like you can't get excited for anything anymore.
No. And like from what I've been told, Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are both pretty good, but they didn't do as well as older Marvel movies at the box office and are being considered flops. And it's
Yeah.
like it's because we don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Like
you
you've used up everything.
yeah, it's time to set new expectations, and it's trying to like start looking at different wells. Let these things sit for a while. Vault it.
Yeah.
Just stick it in the vault.
Well, and even Superman did better than any Marvel movie this year, but it still didn't make as much money at the box office as Man of Steel did 12 years ago.
I do think we need to start adjusting our expectations for box office in general, because this theater going experience is not box office. It's not the barometer for whether something is good or popular anymore, because people just aren't going to the movies anymore.
Yeah.
Well, and also, like, Weapons came out recently. I'm interested in that, but I know it's not enough to pay to go see it, but I also know that it's just going to come to streaming in a couple months.
Yeah.
And so I can wait,
And that's the thing, like the home theater experience is way better than it was when we were kids, because it used to be, it's just like if you wanted the best viewing experience possible for a piece of media, you had to go to the movie theater to see it. Now, just like everybody has 4K TVs and everything else like that.
Well, I don't.
Still rocking that old Vizio, aren't you?
No, it's a Philips from 2015 that I got off a roommate when he had to flee the state for gambling problems.
Yeah, well,
True.
that'll get you.
Yep. I know. He comes to me once and he's like, "Hey man, do you want my TV? I got to take off. I've gotten into some gambling problems." And I'm like, how serious are these problems? Like, do I got to start like really locking up my room at night? Do I gotta,
Are you hiding like cash in the lining of the TV and you just, that's why you love to be on me?
Right. Oh, so he leaves and he left a bunch of shit that I had to throw out. But there was a stack, no shit, of lottery tickets, like scratch offs.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
like,
Jesus Christ.
He had a problem.
Oh, that's sad.
All right. Well, anyways, that is our show, everyone. Thank you to the Raccoonaloon herself, Brie, for showing up. You can check her out on her podcast, Gamebridge. You can check out that Seth on the Tiki of Takis, where we all make mistakes. And then you can find me on TCK Media Productions on most platforms. And of course, our head of HR, Bo, and of course the fur babies. I don't know if that one's Theo or Dreo.
It's Theo.
Oh, it's Theo. I got it right on the first one. Woo! Yeah, Wesley's on timeout.
Oh,
baby.
He's in a cage.
And Fox is probably with them right now. Anyways, see you
all. Homework assignment. Oh,
thank you. So I believe our next one is Brie. We're back at Brie.
I was gonna give you options, but I'm. Can we do K-pop Demon Hunters? Because I haven't seen it yet. Everyone's talking about it.
Can do it.
I actually wanted to watch it with them, but apparently Em watched it without me. So.
Oh yeah. Well,
how dare she?
Everyone's talking about it, and I want to do Over the Garden Wall because I've never seen it, but I want to save that one for a little bit later in the year. So
yeah, I haven't seen that one either, and Emily wanted to watch it with me.
Yeah, we'll wait on that one.
We'll wait on that.
That's fair. Yeah. But it's so good.
We know what Seth. We know what Seth's next homework assignment is going to be once we're officially in fall.
You can take that if you want.
Maybe.
All right. Anyways, thank you so much. So yeah, K-pop X Demon Hunter. It is. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.